Well, we're going to try and do a little diagnosis here. Got a stack of hard drives here. These all test good and check good. These are all varying different sizes. We have an interesting little issue though with this stack here. These are both Western Digital, 6.4 gigabyte. They must have been out of a compact because I see they have a sticker here. Replaced the compact spare. Their model numbers are the same. Or I should say the part numbers are the same. 103725. And they were both made. This one was made in June 7th of 99. This one was made May 11th of 99. They both had the same issue. And I'll insert a couple screenshots here. But they will format. They will act fine. They won't show any signs of bad sectors or problems. They were both partitioned in the same manner. They both had two partitions on them. I'm wondering if one was like a recovery partition. But they'll go to write the file allocation table, or the FAT they call it. And they'll get to 56%. And they just halt and then kick you back to the prompt. Says cannot write FAT. So we're going to try loading the Western Digital Diagnostics off of this. This is our computer today I've been messing with. I really like this machine a lot. It's a custom built Noblest case. This is a Pentium 200, 32 megs of RAM. AT motherboard. This is a really late AT motherboard. In fact, I'm wondering if this isn't a Super Socket 7 system. We'll go more in depth on that some other time. But I really like this system. Late 97 board, but still an AT board. It's got USB on it even. I tried hooking that up, but I don't have quite the right header. Anyways, we're going to see if we can load the Ultimate Boot CD here and load one of these drives up. I've already tried format. I've tried loading with a floppy. I've tried loading from the main drive there, which has Windows 98 on it, a fresh copy of Windows 98. And to no avail. So we're going to try loading the Ultimate Boot CD. And we're going to write zeros, or aka low-level format these, and then see if they will behave. Because they don't make any weird noises. They don't act like they're bad. This acts like this, like it acts like F-Disk just isn't quite doing the job, which I've kind of seen before. F-Disk, if you really think about it, is pretty basic program. I mean, it really they just made it do just enough of what it needs to usually do, which is, prepare a drive to for an operating system. But I mean, it really doesn't, it'll wipe the partition. It really doesn't do a whole lot more than that. But anyways, I've yapped long enough here. Let's get into this and see what we can find. So I've got us reconfigured there. I've got the one drive on the primary side, and I hooked the CD-ROM drive back up. Let's fire this up and get in the BIOS and change our boot. Okay, and I believe that is under BIOS features. If I can hit the right button here. Always looking through the camera. Page up, page down modifies. Okay, so we got CD-ROM there first. We got our CD there. Oh, I'm out of hands. Hang on. Switch hands here. There it goes. That's a pretty old copy. That was burned in 2010 by yours truly here. We'll get that in there. And we need to write these new settings. Save and exit. So we're gonna save and exit. See if it'll boot off of that. Hey, look at that. So we can go under hard drive. And this is still a thing. The Ultimate Boot CD, it's still a thing. You can still get this. We want Diagnostics. I've known about this for years and years and years and years. We'll try the older version here because this version is good for 8.4 gig or larger, which we are not dealing with, but we'll try the older version. Well, it wouldn't be a show if you didn't have to fight with the equipment first. I've tried two CDs, two Ultimate Boot CDs, and they both hang in the same spot. So, let's try a different CD-ROM drive. Yeah, it gets to that spot right. Oh, nope, it's going, I think. Yes. We get about 3 dots in and it would hang. I tell you what, it seems as time has gone on, these CD-ROM drives are getting less and less reliable, and some of them, they don't like reading burnt discs. I know these discs in particular aren't in the best of shape, but we're in. I had to choose a different option there when it came up with the boot menu. I don't think it likes that under certain circumstances this computer's only got 32 megs of RAM. So upgrade that at some point. Oh, found the drive. Got the model number there. I think we'll do extended test first. And if that all passes, then we'll write zeros to it and see what happens. R to run the test. And off it goes. We'll be back in a little bit towards the conclusion. So we're nearing the end here. And haven't heard any complaints. Got about 100 cylinders to go. It's taking about 10 minutes. No errors detected. Okay. So I think we've got a good drive. We are going to write zeros now. This test destroys all data. Press R to run the test. Of course, it's going to make double certain you actually want to do this. And you have to type the full word, I believe. There we go. Alright. We're off on that one. Looks like it's calling half an hour, I guess. We'll see what it comes up with. So we'll be back in just a bit. Alright, we're nearing the end of writing the zeros. It's been just over half an hour. No errors or anything so far. Once this is done, I'll reboot. I got a floppy in see if we can F-disk and be done here. Makes you wonder if there was something in the partition. No errors detected. So errors are written to the drive, and the drive should now be scanned to verify it's defect free. Sure. Guess we'll do that. If I knew it was gonna do that, then I would have just wrote the zeros first and then run the extended test. But we'll do what it wants to do here. Just follow the formality. Well, once again, we've passed. 9 minutes that time. Let's restart here. See if I can do this on the fly here. There we go. Well, definitely wipe the partition because it not detecting anything, so there we go. Good old F-disk. We do want large drive support. We're going to create a partition. Primary, it's going to verify the drive's integrity, which I would like to know more about what it actually does, if it just kind of spot checks or scans. Because we're going to do it twice, of course, because F-disk does it twice. Maximum size, yes. We're going to verify again. Do a restart. Once again, no CD-ROM support. Just I don't know if it makes it any faster really or not. Should try my VGA capture one of these times, but my Linux PC doesn't like my Elgato, so if I want to do that, I'd have to get my laptop up here, I guess. Okay, moment of truth. I won't make you wait for at. Let's try that again. Format. I guess that would be drive C because it's on the primary side there. All data and non-removable disks be lost. We already know that. It's because it's blank. Do we want to proceed? We do. And off we go. I won't make you wait for this. We'll wait about the end and see where we end up. About 2/3 of the way in here, I wanted to make an interesting note. I was just rewatching the last clip there, seeing how it looked and stuff like that. An interesting observation. I see the formatting says 6142. I was just checking my pictures of from before when I was having the problems, and I'll throw it up. I'll insert it in there. But we've lost about 7 megabytes. I don't know what, if, or why that would be any different. You know, obviously I know we wrote zeros. Something definitely changed though when we wrote the zeros and repartitioned. If this solves the problem, then I guess we'll know it had something to do with how it was partitioned or set up beforehand. I don't know if Compaq did something with like a recovery, you know, to make it, say, harder to redo, or if they only ever wanted you just to redo the one, or they put something on there. I don't know. This is all kind of uncharted new water to me here, but we're about 15% away here. We'll cut here and we'll come back at the end and see if we make it back. If we can write the file allocation table, then we've solved it. Well, the moment of truth is quickly approaching here. Pause a second and see what we get. There we go. Huh. I don't know what to say. But writing the zeros and then reformatting it seemed to fix it. So we'll run scan disk on it, and yeah, it looks like we can close the book on this one. Writing zeros fixed it, but as to why we had to take that extra step, like I said, I don't know what was on that drive that would make it to where it wouldn't want to write it out. Very interesting. Kind of almost leaves me with more questions. But glad to see we got a good drive. No bad sectors found during the format. So we'll come back tomorrow and run scan disk and do a surface scan. And I think we can close the book on this one. So it's the next day, as promised. Let's fire this up. And we will run our scan disk. That should be the final check on that drive. I'll also throw a clip in with the other drive to show what the initial symptom and problem was. So that's documented as well. Hard drive's a little noisy. Like Western Digitals of that era were a little noise. The one that's in the computer there, that's like a 3 gig drive. That's a couple years older. It's got some spindle noise. Just kind of comes with it. I guess it's I don't want to say part of the charm, but you know, we keep these old computers going and gonna deal with that. So we are at our prompt. So like Mike Tech, the YouTuber, taught me, we got our parameters in there: scan disk drive C / autofix / surface. So this should all be automated. Far so good. And obviously I'm not going to sit here and make you watch all this. We'll let this go for a while, and then when we get towards the end, we'll check back in, and I'm going to call this drive on that one, and then we'll see if we can fix this one. I just missed it by a couple seconds, but we got a clean bill of health on that drive. So, calling that case closed. I will throw in some footage of what the initial, what it was doing initially. Running the utility and writing zeros is ultimately what it took to get to this point, from unusable to usable. So, there you have it. So I wanted to go over here quickly what's going on. This is the actual showing of the problem here. We're doing the format here. And as you can see, it counts up just fine. And there's nothing awry or anything crazy going on. It gets towards the end here. It'll get to 100%. And then it goes to write the fat, and it just halts and kicks you back to the prompt. So now we're going into the Western Digital Diagnostics, and this is actually writing zeros to the drive. We got this sped up, obviously. This took in real time probably just a little over half an hour. But here we got it sped up. I kind of just hit screen record here and just did it all in real time, and then came back later on and sped the clip up, obviously. And I think this, if it encountered any error of any sort, it would have halted it. But as you can see, it's counting right up there. No errors detected. And then it requests that you run an extended test just to be safe. So we did that quick, and obviously you can see that goes much faster. It's less than 10 minutes, and that's done. That's counting right up. So after this is done, we're gonna do a restart here. Load off of a Windows 98 floppy. And of course it's gonna say, hey, there's no partition or anything here. So we have to F-disk again. And we do our format. And as you can see, we're counting up. No issues or problems. And it's gonna get to the end and it's actually gonna work this time. I don't know why this worked or what was preventing it from working before, but it just works out. So we got a good format there. So we're gonna do kind of the final, yeah, this is okay, and run scan disk. And honestly, I think this took longer than anything else. In fact, I actually just cut it right there just because how ridiculously long it was taking. Not gonna do the whole 5 minutes, but yeah, we got through scan disk and no errors or no problems, and ended up with a good, healthy, clean drive that we can use for another project. So thank you for joining me on this one, and we'll catch you next time on the next one. Thanks for watching.